So I was driving last night with Annie, and we were going to eat supper. And we were driving on that new road behind La Coretta where they're building all that new stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened?
Did you see
That's
this?
what I was going to talk about. But we were driving by there, and there was a news crew, a woman sitting there with a camera standing there in front of it saying, look how bad this construction crew is at their job. And behind them was this huge retaining wall that had collapsed.
And at first it was like, dude, because, I used to do that. I was like, oh, man, they messed this up. They messed that up. And then I started looking at the pictures like, no, they didn't. They did it right.
Did they do it right?
What happened was the water was all directing onto that one point, which failed the whole system.
That's funny. Well, whatever the case, whether they did it right or wrong, they were on the news for doing a bad job.
Yeah.
And I was just saw
Can you
that.
imagine?
I just saw that and I was like, how do you think they found out about it? You think somebody called them or you think they saw it on the news? Because it's been there a little while.
Can you imagine? You're sitting there watching the news. You're like, oh my gosh.
I thought it was funny and I felt bad at the same time that somebody's, probably worst nightmare type of thing for work was just broadcast for the world to see. And they're like, the pretty news anchor sitting there all dressed up, sitting there talking about it.
So my buddy and I talked about this last night. Like, we know the people that did it. We work for them.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, can you imagine what they're thinking right now?
Yeah.
At 10 o'clock, they're like scrambling for lawyers, scrambling for this, scrambling for engineers.
Yeah. I mean, that's an insurance claim, surely.
Terrible.
I don't know what happens when you max out your general liability, because that is what's going to happen. Probably.
Good question.
I don't know. Maybe.
I have no idea.
It's like I have some video that I took while I was driving by, but it's like a 30-foot tall retaining wall. So it's not like something you can just tear down and put back up because it's nothing but fill dirt behind it.
Right. So you have to essentially, anyway, take it away from where it's failed and then rebuild from there.
It's a massive fix. Like it's quite a fix.
It's $1 million, I would say.
Okay. Real quick before we get any further, this podcast is sponsored by DeWalt. What is your favorite DeWalt tool this month? You always say the same thing.
This right here.
Oh, the toolbox.
Pan it.
I can't pan it.
You can't pan it? Oh, man, this toolbox is sick.
I thought you were going to say the HEPA-Vac. You've said the HEPA-Vac on the last 3 or 4.
No, this toolbox is sick. It's called, what is it called? Hold on.
The Tough Stack System.
Tough Stack System.
Get the paper out of the top drawer.
Oh, yeah.
Let me pan it. Hold on.
I won't pan it. This bad boy right here.
It's pretty awesome.
What a beast. Put it in your truck bed.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna put diamonds all in here. I'm gonna hang drills off of it. I don't know.
And they also sent us this kit the other day where it has all these connectors that go on the side, so you can like hang your drills and your stuff and batteries on the sides, like the clip on the sides here.
But this thing is legit.
But the whole thing's modular, and each section will come off. Like if you want to put that in your truck, you can. You just unstack it and lay it in the bed of the truck. Not bad.
All right, so that was good.
Well, I still have to give my favorite one.
That's gonna be like a 30-second commercial.
My favorite is the HEPA-Vac. Hey, I'm Tim C.
Hey, I'm Landon Blank.
You're listening to Hacking Concrete. Yeah! Anyways, I just saw that and I thought that kind of relates to what we're doing today, which is it says 10 things you need to know if you're new to the concrete business, but it's going to be a few more than 10.
Yep.
And it'll be a 2-part. So you just want to jump right in?
Let's do it.
All right. The number one most important thing, what do you think it is? We talked about it earlier. Is you have to learn to do everything. Like you have to learn how to sell specifically.
Yeah.
How did we learn to sell? How did you do it? It's just reps, right?
Reps. Mm-hmm. Getting over the nervousness.
Yeah.
You're right. It's just reps.
It is. I mean, I think that for me, it seems like just being friendly and personal is the way that is kind of like my style. Is I go out and I just kind of act like I go out there and I'm just friendly and I just talk about the job, and sometimes we get jobs and sometimes we don't. I don't know if that's the right way, but it seems to have worked for me.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I think if you genuinely are curious about the person, right?
Yeah.
And because how many times we talk about we're always trying to get sold, and they're like, just click here, just do this, hit this button. Well, you don't care about me at all.
No.
So if you don't care about me, then how are you you're probably gonna do a good job, but do you even care what you do? Like, or am I just a check to you?
Right.
People don't want that.
No.
You know?
I think you and I are genuinely curious people, and I think most people that would have that would want to start their own business and like do this are probably similar to us. I'm generally curious when I go out, and I'll ask questions to the person. As soon as I see something I have any common ground on, I'll talk about it.
Yes.
It's just simple. It's just easy for me. That's just how I am with strangers too.
Yep. That's right. And also though, you said reps too, but also confidence in your product. When you know you got it locked down, it's in the beginning we didn't.
No, we didn't. It's hard to have confidence in the beginning. You need to act like you have it though. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to have confidence in the beginning, but I mean, that's just something else. That's reps too. You have to practice, and we did sample boards and all kinds of stuff. It wasn't like we went out there and just did a job. So, I mean, that's all part of that too.
And we've talked about this before, but your local groups that you're in with, and you go and you're forced to stand in front of people and tell them about your product. That helps too. Yeah.
Like he's talking about a BNI group, which it's just a bunch of business owners that get together once a week and just talk about how they can help each other. And that obviously is that's huge for getting referrals and stuff. That's like the best. I think that's the best tip for a new business. If your brand spanking new, that's the way to go, because it puts you in front of people who are going to share your name.
Yes.
Who are also kind of out in about a lot.
Yes. But that was before what we have now.
Yeah.
That was before social media. It was not before Facebook. But now social media is this churning.
Yeah.
They can just create.
That's part of the learning though. I mean, you have to learn to sell. You also have to learn to be a social media person. I was talking with one of my partners on Instagram. FloorWiz was talking about their social media, and I just offered up unsolicited advice, and I said, you need the attractive character in your marketing, because people don't want to buy from a business; they want to buy from a person. And
good point.
You just have to be. You have to do. I know the influencer thing is embarrassing, and talking to the camera is embarrassing, but you kind of have to do that nowadays. There's no really getting around that.
Well, how many times have people around here, we go do the work and they're just like, well, we did it because of Tim, or we did it because of Landon. And they're like, what's the business name? Who do I write the check to?
Yeah, right. They ask us what our business name is.
And I'm like, really?
How do you not know? But they don't, because they bought into us. They didn't buy into some stupid name, our longest business name ever. But
that's all one word?
Decorative Concrete of Central Virginia. But yeah, I mean, you just have to, point one is learn. You have to learn to how to sell. You have to learn marketing. You have to learn how to do QuickBooks, and you have to learn things like Canva. You have to be a Photoshop expert, and you have to learn video editing so you can do social media stuff. If you hire all of those people up front, it's going to take forever to make anything.
It will not work.
And in the beginning, you have more time than you do when you're busy full time. So that's when you really need to take the time to really learn this stuff. There's tons of courses where you can learn all this online. It's so easy nowadays.
Right. But so you just said if you hire all these people up front, you're not going to make it because of cost. You just can't make it.
Yeah. Yep. So
the reason why I'm saying that is because I was just listening to this thing today where so many people with money are investing in businesses as opposed to starting businesses. Have you seen this trend?
I have seen that, yeah.
And he was just talking about how there is a gajillion ways to fail a business.
Yeah.
And he said it's so hard. You fight. And there's so many ways to mess it up. But I guess that's why if you were to hire all those people up front, then you'd have to get an investor.
You would, yeah. You'd have to just keep throwing money at it and keep throwing money at it.
Right.
I feel like
which is different if you want to do that.
Yeah, for sure. But for average people, though, you're not going to have millions of dollars to do it.
Right.
If you did, you probably wouldn't do concrete. But you're not going to throw money at it. In the beginning, you want to have your costs super low. So you need to take the time to learn all these things.
Correct.
And then one of my business coaches told me this, and that you need to know how to do everything. You don't have to know it perfectly, but you need to know how to do everything so that you can tell when other people who are doing it for you later aren't doing it right. So take the time to learn that stuff from the outset. You can't just be the guy that's going to hire everybody, because that's not going to work. It's like you just said something that made me think of something I think your grandfather said, which was that if you do everything by the book, that you're never going to be able to afford to stay in business.
Right.
And that kind of applies here. You if you do everything and hire everybody to do this stuff, like a professional business would do, then you're never going to make it. It'd be hard. It'd be really tough. We didn't really make an order. This is kind of order. We're just kind of going as we made them up. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason to this. All right. So number 2 is that the brand of material matters more than the price. Do you agree with that?
I do.
In our courses where we teach people how to do what we do, I'm just flabbergasted by the number of people who don't use what we suggest for them to use. And then they contact me and they're like, why am I having trouble?
And you say, why didn't you use this?
Well, I don't, because they're usually in crisis mode when they contact me to say that. They're in crisis mode. So I don't want to be like, I don't want to be smart about it. But
sure,
that's what I want to say is, well, why are you using that? That's what I want to say.
You're like, I gave you A, B, C, D.
Yeah, I spelled it out for you. And all that to say is that once you find something that works, finding something that works is more important than saving a couple $100 a week.
True.
Because, mainly because your employees, like, for example, our garage floor stuff we use, it saves us one employee per job. If we didn't use it, or other brands have copied it, so it's pretty commonplace now. But when we first started using it, it was saving us one employee per job.
Well, how many times do we hear by our guys, this stuff we can't work with it, it sets up too fast, so we quit using.
Yeah, that's true. We hear it all. We kept doing jobs that were specified with that specific brand, and we would try to do it and try to use that stuff. And every time we would do it, all of our employees would be like, "This stuff sucks."
Yep, can't work with it.
I might beep out that brand name.
Yeah, that's fine. just do a beep. That'd be funny.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes the biggest difference, and it's just hard to like. You get so many. Once you get in business, you get so many sales calls from manufacturers. You get them all the time, don't you? Mm-hmm. So you kind of are like, maybe I should give this guy a shot. Mm-hmm. But you probably shouldn't.
No. Stick with what works for you. And then there will be times when you're going to find out that the company, maybe itself, the one that you've been working for, I can't reach them anymore. Can't get with this. Their reps letting me down. I got to try something else.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, it's okay to try stuff in very small quantities, but you don't go full bore and like do a 2,000 foot garage with something brand new you've never used before. Like that would be crazy.
Yeah. Right.
Just last night, this guy texted me and said that it was his first job. He didn't use what I told him to use. And he was doing the top coat on the garage floor, and then he gets to the end, and he accidentally put the part B in with the part A from like epoxy part B, poly part A. Ooh. So it ruined the whole job. And it's just one of those things where like a lot of these new brands, all their stuff looks the same. It's an easy mistake to make because if you're not used to what you're using, that type of thing just happens.
That is true.
It's just shuffling products around and doing different stuff. It's just kind of asking for trouble when you're trying to learn and trying to get going, if you're jumping around from brand to brand based on who you get.
So you're saying like, just don't fall victim to the guy that's reaching out to you all the time. If you got a good system going, the money's right, your rep is right, which we'll get into reps in just a second. Yeah. Then don't push it. But there are times that they will increase prices on you. You got to pay attention to that, especially if you're on an account. We have the accounts, all of us are on accounts, and we'll have one company just every 6 months just creeping up.
We do. Which brings us to point number 3.
Yep.
I'll let you do that one.
Your reps are your best friend, or they could be your worst enemy.
Yep.
Why could they be your best friend or your worst enemy?
Well, when we started, our reps were a wealth of information.
Yes.
And they kind of helped us get going. They helped us avoid mistakes. And, they're just helpful. It was like somebody who they don't, most of the reps don't know enough to do the whole job. They know enough to be dangerous, as you would say. But even with that, not knowing everything, it still has proven to be very helpful just having someone you can ask questions to.
Yes. But there is also this thing to where as you learn the system so much, then your 10,000 hours are way above theirs. Yeah. And so then you can start getting ahead of them. And then you start to realize, wait a minute, I know more than them right now. Yeah. But
which brings us to the worst enemy part.
Well, let me talk about the positives first. There are those reps that did it the same amount of hours that we have already put in, and now they're reps.
Yeah, that's true.
Those dudes are golden.
They are. That is true. They're the best.
And they will help you more than anything as far as when it comes to production that you can believe.
Yeah. I just talked to my friend in Seattle who does what we do. And he's thinking about shutting his business down and being a rep. And he would be like the perfect rep because I've talked to him so many times and he goes through the same types of things that we've been through, fixing the same types of problems. Yep. He would be the perfect rep wherever he ends up.
But the worst enemy part, how would you like to discuss that?
Well, I mean, we have things that we do that we don't want everyone else to know.
So we are in the field and we're developing our own systems, and whether that's, I wouldn't say shortcut's the right idea, but I guess it is. It is if you find certain diamonds or certain machines.
The goal is always to be done as quick as you can.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to make money.
Yeah.
Well, then your reps start noticing this too, and stuff that takes you years and years to learn, they just start telling everyone.
But Landon does it this way.
Tim uses this.
Yep. And, you know, at first that's not going to be a big deal, but as you stay in business for a while, that becomes a bigger problem as you're trying to compete with other people. You know, we noticed that just the simple things like the brand of grinders we use all of a sudden show up in Sherwin-Williams in the store they're being sold. And the diamonds we use are all of a sudden
same
being
diamonds,
sold there.
same hand grinders.
Yeah.
Same transitionals.
Yeah. Like, so, I mean, there's that too. There's that problem of them kind of sharing what we've learned. But, you know, I think the good outweighs the bad probably in that situation. You just have to be guarded with what you say to people and what you're doing. Is that good for that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then number 4 is make friends with your competitors.
You have been much, much better at this than I have. And you always have. It's kind of fascinated me, but
I don't think that's true, but
you're always willing to talk and I'm always hesitant.
I'm not talking local competitors necessarily. I mean,
that's different.
I have a few that are local.
But you still do.
I do, yeah. I'm more guarded with information locally. But with that being said, like our competitors, you know, our biggest polished concrete competitor turned out to be a great friend of ours, and he really taught us a good bit about how we learned to polish.
True. He did. And then we bought him out.
Yeah, that's true. And then we bought him out. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have used local competitors to help us when we were like in a pinch. Like you were doing that school in Salem, and we called a guy from about an hour away, and that was a big deal.
Oh, huge, huge.
And that was somebody that I saw on Instagram, and he may listen to this, but then we ended up subbing him some work that helped us out tremendously.
And now he's a huge asset to me. Now he's one of those reps that just like he's a rep too.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't really polish anymore, but he's one of those that's just full of knowledge and just helps.
Yeah.
A ton, you know.
Yes, for sure.
And you're right. It is good. By the way, just picking up that phone call when you're in a bind, which is what you just said. People need that. We need that.
Yeah. We need community.
We do, because this stuff, concrete is hard.
Yes. Concrete's hard, epoxy sticky.
And every floor is different.
I mean, I try to talk to Annie about work, and you talk to Amy about work, and they don't really get it. It's nice to have somebody who's in it, like in the trenches, and can relate to what we're saying when we're like, this happened. Yeah. So I have a ton of friends they're not really competitors, but they do what we do. They're from outside of Lynchburg that I talk to regularly, and I think you do too. And it really shaped our business when we first got going. Scotty from Workmaster, who's not with Workmaster anymore, but Fernando Franco in New York City, he taught me how to do metallic epoxy 15 years ago over the telephone when I'd never even seen it in person before. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge deal to be friendly. I mean, we're not, this is not groundbreaking stuff. We're just saying be nice people.
You're right. Right. Also, part of that is don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
And this one's big.
Well, you do better at this than me.
Number 5 is huge for me because I always say, delegate and celebrate.
I'm not very good at delegating.
Number 5, hire labor sooner than later.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're not talking, you know, we earlier said you need to learn how to do everything so you don't have to hire people. But that does not apply when it comes to the manual labor part.
Correct.
You have to have good help.
What would be your because there are so many people like you. There's a lot of people like you, a lot of people like you. What was your hesitation before?
I always worried about, two things. One was keeping them busy. Once you hire somebody, you feel like you're in a rush to give them 40 hours every week.
It's true.
And then 2 was letting go of some things and letting them do things, even if it wasn't the way I wanted to do it. So I'm a little OCD. And I really, really bite my tongue a lot on jobs. And the guys probably tell you that I'm overbearing. They have no idea like what goes through my mind and how often I'm like, I wish you wouldn't do that. That's funny. I wish you wouldn't do it that way.
You just really want to deliver the best product you can.
Yeah. And I'm not right about it. It's just whatever the case, I just have an opinion. And it's hard to like that. I'm still working on that. And I'm not good at hiring and delegating because of that. You have a ton of good guys though.
Well, my philosophy's always been, if we need a guy, I don't want to ever live my life where someone's on me all the time. I'm not saying this is you. This is not you.
No,
I'm just saying in general, those type of leaders that are, would you say, micromanage? And I think if they feel autonomy and they have room to grow there, I think they would enjoy being there if they're like me.
Yeah.
But then again, I have found guys that don't like that autonomy, and they're kind of lost at times.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't think of who it was that said that to us recently. One of our guys.
They're kind of lost at times, and to me, I'm sitting there looking at him as like, why would you ever want me to be down your throat all the time?
But I agree with that. Like I would never want someone telling me every move to make. We're fortunate to have a lot of good people, and you have a lot of really good people that do really need jobs from start to finish if you need them to.
Yeah.
Which I think is like super admirable that y'all are able to do that.
Oh, they're huge. So thankful. And I just heard Dave Ramsey, remember the podcast I sent you? Dave Ramsey goes, if there is a cancer, you cut cancers out right away. You don't work with it. You have a meeting right away and say, this is what I'm seeing. This might not be the best place for you because that cancer will go. You remember that job we had where we had one new guy that was bad?
Yes.
And unfortunately, they were traveling back and forth an hour every day.
It's like 2 hours, actually. So 4 hours total every day.
So for 4 hours, he was implementing his strategy and teaching them. And all of a sudden, the guys that had been with us for years are coming to us being like, saying this off the wall stuff. And I'm like, where are you getting this?
Yeah. Yep.
So get rid of it. Anyway.
You cut them out. Cut them out.
Delegate and celebrate, but get rid of it if it's not working for you.
All right. And number 6 is, this is so stupid. This is on here, but people overlook it, which is make a good impression. Do you think it matters? I put that on there, but I kind of feel like it's a weak point.
Well, let me tell you why. So we are doing a builder in town who's a friend of mine, good guy, owns a lot of restaurants, has a lot of properties, good guy. He also lives in one of the nicest areas of our town. So that's why last night I bugged you and I was like, hey, we should probably because Tim has a new wrap on the van. I was like, we should probably use your van on this one and just have it sitting there. Makes us just look that much better.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, half of our vehicles are not.
Right.
You know, but just little things like that are important.
Yeah, for sure.
And you had like showing up early on time. Good grief. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't even start being business.
Well, we had a guy, like a partner that worked with us, and he had his own crew that he headed up, and he would like come to work at like, just because he also had a day job, and he wouldn't come to work till 10 or 11. And when you do that, it starts the customers, their wheels start turning, and they're like, okay, something's off about this. Like, what's going on here? And then once they start, they just nitpick and go crazy. Like, they can't help themselves but to like look and nitpick at every little thing that you do.
That's true.
So like that simple thing of like showing up early, it's like almost like it immediately eases their mind. So you show up early in that wrap van and you look nice and you're wearing the uniform and the you're not wearing like raggedy clothes. It doesn't really matter to the quality of the job or anything, but all it does is ease their mind so they stop looking for problems.
Right. These guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. I'm going to let them be.
That also is in the commercial sense as well, because what we've been dealing with lately is we have a job an hour and a half away. I know some people listen to this in big cities. We envy you. I don't envy the city, but I do envy the work. And so when they start looking at deadlines, and they're like, even though we're starting at 6:30 at the shop and they're getting there at 8, it's still they're late.
Yeah,
they're not going to hit these deadlines. So even recently, we had to put just 2 guys in a hotel room.
Yep, just to get there,
just
early.
To get that look.
We did commercial jobs where I forget what the problem was. I think it was that same one in Salem that guy in North Carolina helped us on. That guy, when he was fussing at us about the timeline, he was like, "Y'all aren't starting until 9 or 10 o'clock every day," because we were commuting it.
I'm like, no, we're not.
Yeah, we're
trust me. Trust me, we pay the paychecks. Yeah. We know.
Yeah. But he had in his mind that we were being lazy because we're not getting there till 9. And he was like the first thing he brought up. So show up early and look good. Simple enough. All right. So that's the end of part 1. This is going to be a multi-part podcast. This one is like a dual purpose for us. We're going to post this in our business course at decorativeconcreteschool.com because we just want people to be able to see the type of content that is in there. And this fits in really well with our business course that is already in there. So you can check that out, decorativeconcreteschool.com. And thanks again to DeWalt for sponsoring this video, and we'll see you next time.